Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review episode number 82. This will be the 105th episode of the series, The Hellish Todoroki Family. Yep, that's the name of this week's episode. Yep. Now, this one covers the last page of chapter 248. Yeah, 248. And it also covers pretty much the entirety of chapter 249. And the way it definitely looks is that episode number 106 will definitely wrap up this arc, and then pretty much for the rest of the season, we are going to get the very next arc of the series, the Meta Liberation. It's the Meta Liberation Army arc. Yes, we're going to finally continue with this. Yes. Now, this one mostly we start off with basically with, okay, we have Futatumi, she's Shudo's older sister, calling Endeavor, asking, chatting with him for a bit after like a day's work. They actually have like a lot of anime original content here before they get to the actual thing, because there's not much material adapted for this episode. It's roughly a single page of a chapter and like an entire chapter. It's not much, but they have like a lot of original stuff. First, we have like everybody just running around trying to catch criminals, which I don't mind the fact that Studio Bones actually took the time to actually add some anime original content to this, because after all, they're according to the way the manga presented it, it seems like they would definitely be doing it, just chasing after Endeavor. A lot of time catching criminals. Then of course they say get to sleep early. We gotta get up early for work. And then they show up basically. Now this next scene this is actually in addition to what they show in the manga, where we actually see where kind of the room in a way where Deku sleeps, where he gets up, wakes up at like a little over 6 a.m. I get used to it. I have to get up, like whenever I work at 7 a.m., I have to get up at 6. Because, work's about a half hour away, but it takes him about a half hour to get ready to work. And you see him actually open some curtains, and he goes out. Yeah, this building is apparently owned by the Endeavor Agency. Basically, it's almost like a dormitory in a way. I mean, it kind of acts like a dormitory, but it looks like a very expensive-looking hotel. So then they go out stretching, and of course you have Deku saying hi. Deku running into Bakudo, and of course Deku saying hi to Burden, which she does appreciate. And of course Burden saying hi to Shudo, and while they're all stretching, and of course she does see the wear and tear on Deku, Bakudo, and Shudo. And also this episode, they threw in some stock footage in here. Oh yes, as a flashback, we threw in some stock footage from the previous season of the show. It's the stock footage from the Remodel Course arc when Endeavor was talking to All Might about being a symbol. Interesting to throw this in because it's a good idea to throw this a flashback because, after all, they have this footage, so why not show it? And it's still always nice to hear Christopher Sablett's voice come out of the mouth of All Might, because I think he does an absolutely fantastic job voicing him. And the thing is, ever since All Might retired, he's pretty much played a somewhat of a supporting role, and he doesn't play a big of a role as he used to. So it's nice to see that. And of course, they also mention what happened with the Meta Liberation stuff. After another day of basically doing going on patrol, and then he says, "Come with me," and then of course you have Bakudo throwing a fit over the fact they took him to his house, and of course Shudo basically explains his sister invited him. Now I thought based on the woman's voice, I thought this was Lucia Christian basically voicing Shudo's sister. Oh no, this is not Lucia Christian. Oh no, this is actually This is Futoyomi, and she is voiced by Kate Oxley. Yes, she is in fact. Well, they also in some additional new stuff here, where basically Endeavor is told about Shudo's visits to his mother, and the fact that Shudo and of course also Endeavor kind of want to rebuild their family after he kind of in a way, well, caused it to fall apart. Mm-hmm. Yes. And apparently also he's been writing her letters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like writing her letters because he can't exactly visit her when he lives at school. Which, interesting stuff there. And they sit down dinner, and of course you have Deku just overanalyzing everything because that's what he does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, overanalyzes everything. Of course, Baka tells him to stop. And of course, then they help with dishes because, of course, Deku basically obviously wanted help with dishes because he'll help with anything. And of course, they overhear Shudo and his sister talking about their family problems, which of course they actually do. Well, of course, Deku already knew about the family problems already, and of course, Bakuto himself overheard it. And then, of course, they have a slight wording change here. For me, anyways, if you can change the wording of some dialogue, it still like works the same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he, of course, he's yelling at them, don't yell at the family problems. And, of course, they help with dishes, with left dishes on the table. And then, of course, well, we have Shudo kind of explaining exactly what's going on with Endeavor. And you have Deku saying a slightly different line of dialogue than he does in the manga. Where he says, basically, he according to him, he thinks that Shudo is ready to move forward with his father. In the manga, he said he was ready to forgive him. But he said he's getting ready for it. And, of course, Shudo asks, like, how would you know that? Because he knows that Shudo is a caring person. Like, okay. Oh, yeah, also, we do see Shudo's brother, Natsu. Yes, his brother's name is Natsu. We get introduced to him. And also revealed that apparently he's a cook. And, of course, Endeavor wants to try his cooking, too. Then, of course, well, he leaves, presumably probably go back to his own home, presumably. I'm not sure what he does. It's mentioned that Futoyomi actually is an elementary school teacher. I don't think they meant, I was reading manga, I don't think they mentioned her profession. Like, you easily presume she's basically just a stay-at-home sister who takes to the cooking. But no, she's an elementary school teacher. I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Nothing really wrong with that at all. I'd say by appearance-wise, I say Shudo's sister is presumably in her... I'd say mid-20s. I'd say mid to late 20s. His brother's obviously, it is in college, so I'd say early 20s for him. And she, of course, is the elder sister. And the episode has a couple different endings with it. First, you have Endeavor basically praying at a shrine for his first child, Toya. Which, if you read the manga, you know what there actually is a little bit of revelation related to this character. But then we have a debut in the actual episode. Yes, an actual debut. And you're thinking, who could this person be? This is actually Ending. Yes, Ending. Yeah. He apparently looks like he just released this mysterious hooded man who actually is Ending. This actually is his debut. And he gets out of prison in the post-credit scene, mind you. Yeah, he gets out of prison. And then he sees Endeavor on TV from the start of this season. Where actually it was the ending of the previous season where he just defeated a Nemu. Yep. Gotta say, pretty good episode. Can't wait for the next episode. Now, as far as I can tell for episode 106, like, here's the thing. That's airing in Japan already. As in the case of, well, episode 107, that apparently is airing in Japan this Saturday. Yes. So we'll probably get a chance to see this episode air really soon. Mm-hmm. Only if you're curious, though, like how many more episodes are left to go for the season. Well, generally put since like season 2, they've had 20, 25, 26 episodes. So since we're at episode number 18, well, for next episode, this overall 17 episode of the season. So we actually have it where we have a good 7 episodes left. So I'd say, presumably, with episode 107, we're going to get to the mid-liberation arc. Mm-hmm. Which I'm looking forward to that one. Well, when they continue a little bit more, because they did technically start adapting us already. Now, this arc, at the time, I think was one of the more longer arcs of this series. Mm-hmm. Yes. Who knows the reason of why in the world they decided to just do like a couple chapters to start with and then skip straight to Endeavor Agency? I'm not really sure exactly why they decided to do that for. Yes, it's completely unknown. The arc itself is only 22 chapters, and they've technically already covered like one chapter already from this arc. Yeah, they covered just 118. Now 118, 218, and yeah, they covered this chapter, and they went through actually a small portion of basically of chapter 218, 217, excuse me. Well, 218, yes. But they didn't exactly finish, I think, this chapter. No, in the case of like chapter 219, it was like the first 10 pages. So my guess is when they start Meta Liberation Army, they're probably going to do in the very first episode pages like 3 through 11, and then they're going to, from 218, and they're going to finish up this chapter by adapting the last 5 pages. And they might go as far as like in just the first episode, like first couple of stuff they skipped over, and then they go straight to like, my guess they're probably going to finish up with chapter like 220. Mm-hmm. Maybe 221, but who knows, okay? So yeah, that's a particular review. Now tomorrow I will be discussing the newest chapter for the manga for the series, which did not come out today. Nope, it didn't. I'm not really sure why. It just didn't. It's coming out tomorrow. So next one, One Piece. Okay, see you there. Bye.